Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. Hello. We're going to do some train stuff. Something that occurred to me is that I didn't need all of this for this. And I've got too many, so I didn't need to put that on there. So I'm going to be removing this. Because their sole purpose... Hi, Witzik. This is broken. Yep. Missed one. This is like a constant thing of whack-a-mole. Where did I miss one particular little thing? What are you doing way up there? So 5 and I, we're going to build some stuff up here. I think you need to give me back that radar. You need to come over here and help me build this. 5, I need to, well, you'll get a pipe from this. So go down here and get a pipe and then add it there and then clean all this up. That will help me clear out. So I'll just cut them off and then remove them later. That way they all drain out. I don't have to pick up as much garbage. I have very little rail on me. So we're going to take this and route it here so I don't have to cross over trains again. And this is only going to be a stone train, so I don't really have to do... Oh, but I don't have any of this. I gotta go over this way to get around that. I'll do that. But where does stone go? How many stone unloaders do I have? 4 of them, and they're all right here. Okay. You missed one right here, dude. What the heck? You're gonna get all 4 of those, right? No, you don't need all of them. You really only need 16 of them. I'll go down and take care of that. Wait, that's the one I want. Let's see how you're doing on tearing this out. I took out one too many here already. Didn't quite do that right. Yeah, you don't matter. Has it happened to you? The copper patch or something like that has run out on this? No, because I've got it all cranked up so high that I have alarms on my things. So if I did start to run out of resources on any particular patch, I would know it. I was just wanting to hear this song. Good. No, mistake. What was I trying to do here? Turn off my bots so I can clear some things out here. I need to get a better version of that song. Panic. It's constantly a science rebuild, sir. In all honesty, though, trains have been the failure point here. So, your creation has spread itself through Turkey and is happily existing in many places. Totally taken over Italy and is gradually taking hold in the Iberian Peninsula. Yeah, the rocket silo complex that I designed is working quite well. We had some good results a little while ago. I was able to get 10,000 science a minute out of most everything. Here I ran out of power. I've since fixed that. But at this point, I started seeing congestion on the rails. Production science, as you can see, I had a small flaw there. Utility science was similar. Yeah, you can see where I kind of shut it off. But the production in terms of these things, I have a small concern that I'm going to run out of iron on my satellite production, so I have to make a change there. And I have concerns about not having enough oil in those, so I have some work to do there. But the big thing is that train behavior is a serious problem. What was happening is that trains that I built this plastic, green circuits, red circuits in order to support this build for. Now, granted, these are going all the way up to yellow science, so this should have been built up by yellow science, but I didn't plan that far ahead when I designed it, and so the result is that I don't have what I need where I need it. So to compensate for that, I've been building these prod mods down here where I have copper and iron and oil in order to be able to satisfy them. And I'm not happy with the music player. Not behaving how I want. But what was happening is that this plastic here, this plastic train, was going over here. It's got a plastic train. This build has a plastic train right here, which I'm seriously thinking of moving that plastic up here. So it doesn't get on this main intersection, but that shouldn't have been an issue in the first place. The challenge with putting it here is that then an oil train has to run all the way through. And if I put it up here, then I run into the situation of I'm too close to this intersection, and I don't have room for the trains to do what they need to. So I create potential traffic jams. So I may refactor this. To get that closer. But what happened is a whole bunch of trains backed up along here. And when I looked at those trains, it was doing stupid things. Copper for these things, instead of coming from right here, was coming from way up here. Or somewhere up here. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to localize some of these trains, which I don't want to do. I do not, I localized all of red and green science by putting it over here and giving it unique names. So this is a self-contained red and green science build. Works fine once I got it balanced. But what I lose is the ability to click on an iron plate assembler and go, how many iron plate trains do I have? Fennec, I'm doing kinda. I'm not quite doing that. I'm not sure how I'm going to accomplish what I want to do, but I'm still considering moving things out here. Like, I could move yellow science out here. Military science is kind of self-contained. It's got this one entry exit point right here, but almost everything it needs is right here, right? Yeah, I can't do that. Thanks, Azaris. I don't quite want to do that because, well, I can't do that because I can't prevent this from not going out, right? The output of these things has to go all the way to the shared unloader, which is here. Right? So the science is all being done here. So I don't have in this layout that I've done with the, main train lines and stuff like that. I don't want to go to that level. I'd much more rather use this sort of naming convention that I've developed. Science, red and green, iron. Okay, well, I'll do something similar over here, where this will become science, yellow, green circuit unloader. And then the same thing here, because these, when I look at the numbers, what does this need? Per minute, it needs 14,000. This is producing just barely under what it needs. Not much I can do about that. And that's producing more than it needs, and then that's producing more than it needs. So half a red assembler short. What logistics are you using for the trains? Well, all the trains use pretty much the same logistics. Let me get these happy idiots working. And I need to get some trains moving so that I can keep going with this. So, one moment, and I will explain it all to you, so that I can keep building once I'm done. Oh, who's got miners on them? Outpost builder. That's King Finerb. Come here, King Finerb. I need you up here. And then Lycum is going to be needed right here. Yes, it's a part of the real world map. Hi, kitty cat. I have a cat, and she just come to say hi. So, Azarius, if you hit exclamation point COE here in chat, it'll take you to a link to the mod in the mod portal, including screenshots of the different map types that you can use. And I wrote the mod, so if you have questions, let me know. But you can choose the whole world. You can choose just Europe. You can choose just Africa, the United States, etc. And you can even turn it into a scenario by saying have it pre-place the rocket silos at different places around the world. And like it'll build the rocket silo. Like over here in London, there's a rocket silo outside of London. it'll place it there, and then it takes away the ability to build rocket silos. So you have to go find the rocket silo and build it, or not build it, but supply it and launch from it, and then you win the scenario. Or you can do it where it's just the planet, where you get nothing, only the surface. So it doesn't change biters, doesn't change resources, none of that. As far as my trains go, my train logic is no mods. My trains I segmented my networks. So when you look at this, this is it's titled Russia Rocket Silo Coal Unloader. And I have a coal outpost here that is called Russia Rocket Silo Coal Loader. And the train that services that's where it goes. It goes till full, it goes till empty, or until a minute has gone by. And so these trains are kind of sequestered here, right? They're in a dedicated network. Now, technically, these rails are connected, but I can block them, or I can delete the rail. The intent, the design, was that all the trains in here are everything needed for this rocket silo complex. Here's 4 rocket silos. I have a total of 12, because I want to get to 10,000 signs per minute. Everything these things need is contained right here, including the resources. So this builds the satellites. This is a mini factory that builds satellites for those rockets, and it builds 4 a minute, which is what the rocket silos go off at, about 1 minute, 6 seconds each. Well, you can get there if you apply yourself. Just start small and refine and refine and refine, and then scale up. At a certain level, the game goes from being an engineering game to a logistics game. So my trains, they should be 484s. They're not massive trains. They're 383s, but they should have been 484s. But anyhow, so with an 8-wagon train, you can get 10,000 signs. You don't need massive trains. You just need to design them, control them, and that's what I'm dealing with here. Is that I'm going to do something similar in that this train is going to be converted into a dedicated train that all it does is supply this. Summer showers, welcome. No, they're not. That would require a lot more talent than I have. It's like Azarius was saying that, he'd never reach it because of the smart plays. Well, I don't have the skill set to do resource generation. And it would really limit replayability because, resource would always be in the same place. I should have made the map smaller. I made the map too big for this playthrough, but I didn't know how many resources I was going to need for a MegaBase, and I was worried about running out. So I intentionally made it over big and overly resourced, and I need Zoe here. I need speed modules. Come hither from yonder, mon Zoe. You have my speed mods. Smoking, squawking it up, baby. So I'll clean up some of this stuff that I don't need, don't want. If you have more questions or if you need me to explain anything more, please do ask, because that's what I'm here for, is to share and learn. People ask me why I stream, so that I can learn from people who have better ideas than I do. Or people who see things that I don't see. Nice short miners. 36 more miners plus I need a speaker. I don't think you have speakers. I'll make one. There are bot networks, but they are very, very localized. The goal, summer showers, is 10,000. And also, you were a first-time chatter. I forgot to give you your hello. The goal is 10,000 signs per minute, which technically I've reached, but I want to get it over a 3-hour period. So we can see I've reached 10,000 signs a couple of times in production and even in consumption. But I want to get it over a longer period of time. This is, I don't know how to read this. If this is 1 hour, then I was able to do it for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, yeah. So I have these networks so that I could build this, because it was a lot easier to build this thing by just coming here and putting down some trains and some, because I actually have a layout here that I use to build. I've blueprinted pretty much everything that I do, but I have a layout here of, let's see if I can find it here, because it's been a while. Sorry, but I tend to get squirrel. I lose track of what I'm doing and go do stuff like this. Hi, kitty cat. So I have a unloader. If I could find it. Yeah, there it is. So what I would do is I would place this down. This is a builder blueprint. Is that I would start with this little train track here, and I would plop this down here, and then I would bring in a crap ton of trains. Like you saw earlier, I summoned a couple of trains. And then I would let these networks build all of the stuff I needed. And then I take away the extra stuff, because this was all connected in one big RoboPort network. But I don't want that. Now, the RoboPorts you see here, I'm considering not having them anymore because they do take up UPS. But their only purpose is to fuel the trains. I use bots. There's 10 bots in this network. Well, this one only is, yeah, it is 10. And there's a train that delivers fuel. An unloading trains that are unloading get fuel. Trains that are loading do not. Well, they're not supposed to, so I've got a bug in that design. And as you can see, I'm constantly fixing things. Have I played Factorio? Yes, I've played it in multiplayer with Mucky. In multiplayer, it's a good time because I play with good people. I find it very stressful, and I don't like redoing things, so it would be too tough for me to play individually. With Warptorio, I highly recommend a mod. My most recommended mod is a mod called picker dollies. And if you've not heard of picker dollies, you really should get picker dollies, because especially with Warptorio, where you want to be able to move things, because you've just redesigned or gotten an expansion. And so use that mod with picker dollies so that your life doesn't completely suck. Kingfiner, I'm done with you. Hey, Zoe. Yeah, even dist is kind of a given for that mod as well, for that scenario. Something I did that something I did that saved me a lot in Warptorio was on the surface. I built a sorter recycler, chests with splitters, so that I could dump my stuff into one chest and it would get all sorted out into other chests. And the reason for doing that was because it made things much easier to just dump stuff in and be done with it. Oh, I still got the old design here, don't I? Man, I hate when I forget to update blueprints. Yeah, there is a different Warptorio mod that's really good too. I can't remember its name right now, but it adds some functionality that I thought was pretty neat. Hi, kitty cat. BRB. So regarding 1K biters per minute, you'll have to get pretty far into the technology tree in Warptorio to be able to deal with the fact that it artificially spawns biters, and you're gonna have an overrun situation where they just they make more make more biters than you can um, kill in a normal. You have to have a really solid base. You also could consider, depending on your skill set with the walls and stuff. I have blueprints. If you hit exclamation point blueprints, you could consider using a wall design like what I've developed along with Mucky and some other folks that is very, very powerful. It requires flamers and bots and stuff like that, but it's it is. I used it in my. Sorry, I'm focused for a moment. I used it in my. Oh, what's the name of the mod with the super hard biters? I've used it in the Death World, and I've used it in really hard biter scenarios, and it's worked reliably well. Rampant, yes, I've used it in Rampant. So, exclamation point blueprints, and then look for defensive outposts or defensive blueprint book. Hey Ben, welcome. Well, I've overbuilt, so I don't need all of it. I could have made the map a couple times smaller than it is. I just didn't know how many resources I would need on a MegaBase, so not all of it. And it's only a part of the world anyhow. It's not the whole world. I went to the old world, Europe, Asia, Africa. I technically have Oceania in here. But I don't plan to go to Australia. There's not a lot of benefit there for me on this one. Let me get that out of the way. All right, let me continue to update this. And then I need to update my blueprint so that I don't keep screwing this up. Today is the 29th. No landfill. No radar. Okay, so this is research for yellow science for plastic coal unloader or coal loader. None. I was able to get to 10,000 SPM. I just need to get the trains to run reliably. It's kind of like being in London, you know. So I've done a couple of tests. So I've been able to get 10,000 science several times, but I've had hiccups along the way as the buffers have run out and trains have run into each other. So I'm at present dealing with an issue that plastic was getting in its own way, and so now I'm localizing plastic for yellow science. Rocket silos are working great. I'm very happy with them. Might as well just get rid of all of this because you're not going to need it. Also, I forget to talk sometimes, so I get focused on what I'm doing. Apologies. This bit of rail is intentionally broken so the trains don't start coming in here while I'm working. Thank you for the reminder. Because I will later on go, why the hell isn't this working? And then I will remember that that train track is missing. Zarius, if you're still here and you want to learn more about my rail network, I can tell you. Although I'll say for the most part, it's kind of unique to what I do, and it doesn't have a lot of applicability. And I can show you the earlier versions of it that do some stuff, but there's a lot of funny business I do in order to optimize what's going on. Um, well, LTN, I don't have any experience with, unfortunately, with I, yeah, with the alternate rail network controllers and stuff. I know that, when version 2 of Factorio comes out, a lot of that stuff's going to become old, because there's so many changes to the network and the functionality that those things have to be reworked. So if you learn one, prepare to use it, for less than a year, and then switch over to something else. Kind of like your math teacher used to say, learn the basics, and then you can learn the advanced stuff. Similar thing here. Learn the basics of controlling trains before you go learn a tool or a mod. For what I use on my normal stuff is relatively straightforward. I do use a dynamic train setup. It's a UPS, a bit of a UPS hog, so I don't recommend it all over the place or on a MegaBase, but on a smaller base. And it needs improvement. But basically, if you balance the output like I'm doing here, read the first chest, put it into a decider combinator, and then depending on what it's unloading determines when you turn this train on. So when there's room to unload a train, like a wagon, like this is steel, it has a stack size of 100. With a stack size of 100, unloaders call a train at 3,000. So this decider combinator would say if what it's reading is 3,000 less than the maximum of this chest, then enable this train through a value. Pretty simple, actually. Oh, I'm gonna need a guy who's got. I'm gonna need King Finerd back here. You got tanks and pumps? No. Yeah. I forgot. I need Zoe too. I sent her back already. Haven't done this in a while. So that's just the standard unloader, but this loader is going to be different. This is science for yellow plastic loader. Hi. I don't have the bots. Do you have them?